evening, my brothers and my sisters. Good evening, the people that I care about. Yeah, I'm still driving home. I'm so tired. I'm on my way from Polokwane as we speak. So yeah, my eyes are hurting. Look, yes, I'm trying to, to just elevate somebody by keeping myself busy so that I don't sleep as I'm driving home. Look, there's this interesting topic that just came through to me right now. You understand? There's this interesting topic that speaks about finding that partner that cultivates your mind. You understand? I think in our generation, we don't really make those proper decisions into choosing the right partners that cultivate our mind into us becoming better people. Literally, we choose because of the physical appearance. We choose because of, publicity. We choose because of social standard. We choose because of, there are certain things that we choose according, right? But we never at times just make an effort to choose partners that really cultivate our minds. You understand? There are certain people that when you are at their presence, my brother, when you are at their presence, you literally become the better version of yourself. You understand? The conversation you hold with them, the kind of activities you do with them, the kind of things you practice at their surrounding. You understand? They ultimately, make you a better person. And I feel like most of the time, when we choose partners, we don't really consider the psychological weight part of the relationship. You understand? We just consider, oh, she got boobs, okay, she got this and that, okay, she come from this and that, okay, her dad has this and that, or maybe he comes from whatever that we classify what we expect a relationship to turn into based on the material or the background and everything. But do we really look at the mindset, somebody's mindset? When you say I want to join Vision, oh, this guy is blowing, my boy. Okay, but do we ever pay attention to do you ever pay attention to the mindset behind the person that you're trying to combine vision with? You understand? Are they really helping you into progressing into be who you wanna be? You understand? Because I feel like we usually take this part of the relationship for granted up until we get to the point where we cannot agree on certain terms. You understand? And then it becomes a difficult. That's when you notice, like, actually I chose a wrong partner because of we actually different in being and in spirit and in thinking. You understand? So, but I want to speak to you and I want to say, is the partner that you are with right now, are they cultivative in your mind? Are they helping you to be the better version of yourself? Do you see yourself when you look at them? You understand? Because I feel like sometimes we don't really pay attention to these things up until we have a stumbling block that now we hit rock bottom. Now the relationship is really falling apart, and then you start thinking, hey, what was I thinking when I choose this partner? Because when you start seeing how they think and how they do and usually these things happen when you move in with somebody. Now when you guys are staying in the same house, you start realizing like, Jesus Christ, yo, was more. You understand? But I want to say, do we really ever pay attention, into understanding the principles, how somebody handles themselves, into understanding okay, thanks bro. But do we really understand how somebody thinks, how somebody do things, and how they carry themselves, and how they value themselves, and how their spirituality in being, and all those things? You understand? Because at the end of the day, what you bring in a relationship, it's more than just the physical, she's hala sexy, or she's blah 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 whatever. But do we understand how somebody thinks? Do we understand how they see themselves? Do they see, because trust me, in some relationships they've ended because of somebody's becoming more of a liability, at which when you are in a relationship, there's a lot of accountability that is needed, and for you to play a certain part of the relationship to be a success. But when somebody is a liability, now the person is more like a dependent. Like they really don't want to contribute anything. They really want to show up. They don't really want to be accountable for anything and stuff like that. You understand? So, but I just wanted to speak about this. I just feel like there's a lot that we are missing out in just understanding people, you understand, before we combine vision with, before we decide, to say I am committing. The question is, when you say I am committing, what are you committing to? You understand? Because you cannot say I am committing to this person and not understanding what you're committing to. You understand? So what I've noticed with a lot of people is that we get into relationships because of, oh, well, I cannot be alone. Oh, well, I'm lonely. Oh, well, I need a sexual assistance. Oh, well, and we don't really look at the principles in long term to say, hey, look, if I am really going to be with this person, what are they bringing on the table? What is it that I can grow through into understanding me building this vision or this life with this person? You understand? So for most people, we put it close, we put in one open eye to it, and we ignore the obvious things. You understand? So I want to speak to you and I want to tell you, it's very important. It's very important to understand somebody before you combine vision with them. To really assess them. There was a time I had a conversation with one of my cousins when we were speaking about, the kind of families that you marry into. They say how somebody was raised literally affects how they relate into relationships later on in life. You understand? So if you come from a broken family, unless if you build something different, if you come from a broken family, you are bound to create a broken family yourself, because that's the foundation you have. Up and maybe probably if you start thinking different, then do something different. You understand? So, and me and my cousin, we came to this conclusion that because we were making an example, and he was like, Simon, your father was there for you, right? And I was like, yeah. He was like, your mother was there also, and I was like, yeah. He was like, do you value marriage? Just like, yeah, I value marriage. Why do you value marriage? I was raised in marriage. Then it went back to understanding that, hey, my parents being present and being married and giving me a foundation, giving me a home, giving me a support, literally give me the foundation of understanding that I need to offer the same to my kids. You understand? But if you meet somebody who's not in the same caliber or in the same thinking as you do, then it becomes a problem, because of I know a lot of guys that wish there was a point where they had a child with some chick, but they couldn't marry them just because of the foundation of chick was broken, or there was a lot of things happening there was a lot of scandals and all those things. You understand? And it goes back to how we were raised in our families. You understand? So I feel like it's very necessary for us to just do a background check on people, before we commit ourselves to them. To just check and say, look, is this who I can really combine vision with? Is this really somebody that I can be reliable, I can rely on to make very important decisions with my life? You understand? And often we ignore the obvious things, and that's where problems come in a picture. If you cannot be with somebody that complements your spirituality, that complements your self-understanding, that complements your way of doing things, trust me, I didn't say somebody that is a foundation of what you do. I'm saying that complements, because of when something complements you, that means you already have those qualities. Another person is just bringing more of those same qualities. You understand? Because of, if you are too dependent on somebody, you become a liability. So I feel like it's very necessary. It's very necessary for us. I posted a status somewhere today and saying something like, do not replace, quality with convenience. Sometimes, for example, if you meet somebody great, somebody with a great mindset, somebody with spiritual gifted, somebody spiritually gifted, and somebody who connects your spirit, right? But they stay far away. It's a little bit, costly to see them, but they are still quality. You understand? And literally you can just say, oh, there's somebody else who's close by that I can just date because of that one is far away. Now you're going for convenience. You understand? You're not really going for quality, you're going for convenience. And I posted something like, some qualities are worth that extra effort. You understand? So when you meet somebody who's connected to you in spirit, my brother and my sister, in thinking, in way of doing things, because these things are very important in a relationship. If you find somebody like that, my brother, build with those people. You understand? And usually this kind of a people, that those people can come from proper families. You understand? Because of, it's a generational thing. It's a generation. I mean, for example, look at it this way: of there are families at which in the family, most of them, all of them are doctors, or their father was a doctor, and all of them, they follow to be doctors and whatever. There's a certain thing about a certain family somewhere, you understand? You know what I've noticed? We call it a generational wealth, and that goes in spirit, that goes in thinking, and that goes in being, and that goes in values, that goes in character, that goes in principles, that it goes to many things. And that's why certain families, they, you know, flourish, or they blossom into beautiful flowers as they do, because of whatever that is within the family is very good. And when you meet somebody that comes from the same family like that, you understand, you have to also come from a perspective at which you can offer the same, you understand? Because of way of them, I'm telling you, if you get in a relationship with somebody that's a liability, you're always going to be drained, because if you have load to carry, you know, you have load to take on, because of somebody just want to laze and just watch you do the hard work, you understand? So I'm saying to you, and I'm saying my brother, and I'm saying to you, my sister, you know, before you commit yourself, before you really put yourself in a certain relationship to say, I'm going all out, I'm in, you know, get to know their thinking, get to know their way of doing things, and get to understand where they come from and where they're going. Do a little bit of background check to understand what kind of a foundation of life they have, and also understand that when you're finally gonna plant your seed there, you're planting in the right soil. You understand? It's very much important. You know, as much as I have this conversation with family members and my cousins and everything, I just feel sometimes I just bring it in public spaces where, you know, somebody who doesn't have this experience in their family background can really have an interaction, you know, with some of this kind of content. You understand? So, yo, my data is dying. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm close by home. So, my brothers and my sisters, I just feel like I needed to share it. You understand? My brothers and my sisters, I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well, bro. And I hope that you really take caution into the decisions you make, into, you know, combining vision with certain people in your life. Maybe your life partner, maybe your spouse, or whatever, girlfriend at this stage. But do a proper assessment of the kind of sort or the kind of person that you decide to, you know, join vision with, because of the partner that you are with affects it all. Alright? It's your boy, Mr. Consciousness, the author, the poet, the motivational speaker, the entrepreneur, and the life coach. Apart from being a biomedical engineer, from me to you, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure. Good night and take care of yourself, man. Alright? Bye.